You know what nobody told me when I turned 60? That my arms would start feeling like weird noodles. I'd carry my groceries in from the car and need to sit down and rest. At 65, I couldn't open a jar of pickles to save my life. And by 70, I was genuinely worried. Not about getting older. I was fine with that. I was worried about losing my independence, about needing someone to help me get up from a chair. But here's what changed everything for me. It wasn't a fancy supplement. It wasn't a gym membership. It was my kitchen, specifically what I started putting in my bowl every single morning. Today, I want to share with you 10 fruits that actually help your muscles grow back. Yes, grow back. After 60, I'm 91 years old. I live alone. I still cook my own meals, tend my little garden, and walk to my mailbox every day without holding on to anything. And fruit played a bigger role in that than most people would ever guess. Stay with me, because near the end, I'm going to share the one mistake most people over 70 make with their diet. And it quietly makes muscle loss so much worse. Most people have no idea they're doing it. I didn't for years. Let's start at the beginning. Why muscles shrink after 60 and why it's not your fault. First, I want you to know something. If your arms feel weaker than they used to, if your legs feel heavier, if you've noticed your body changing in ways you don't love, that is not a personal failure. That is biology. And once you understand it, you can actually do something about it. After 60, our bodies start losing muscle at a faster rate than before. Doctors call it sarcopenia. That's just a fancy word for age-related muscle loss. It can start as early as 35, but it really picks up speed after 60. By the time we're in our 70s and 80s, we can lose as much as 1 to 2% of our muscle mass every single year if we don't do anything about it. Now, why does that matter? Because muscle isn't just about looking strong. Muscle keeps us upright. It protects our joints. It helps us balance. It makes it easier to get out of a chair, climb stairs, carry our own groceries, and live life on our own terms. When we lose muscle, we lose independence. And that's what I care about. Yours and mine both. Here's the good news. Your body never completely stops being able to build muscle. Never. Even in your 80s and 90s. The process slows down, yes. But with the right nutrition, especially the right fruits, you can absolutely help your muscles grow again. Fruit matters here for a few reasons. Fruit gives us natural sugars that fuel our cells. It gives us antioxidants that reduce the inflammation that breaks muscles down. It gives us vitamins and minerals that help our bodies actually use protein, which is the building block of muscle. And it gives us fiber, which keeps our gut healthy. And a healthy gut is a healthy everything. So let's talk about the 10 fruits I want you to know about. Fruit number 1, watermelon. I want to start here because this one surprised me the most, and I think it will surprise you too. Watermelon contains something called citrulline. It's an amino acid. An amino acid is just a building block that your body uses to make protein, and protein is what your muscles are made of. Citrulline helps increase blood flow to your muscles, which means your muscles get more of the good stuff they need to repair and grow. There's also something called L-arginine, which your body converts citrulline into. L-arginine helps relax blood vessels and improves circulation. For those of us whose circulation isn't what it used to be, that's genuinely helpful. And watermelon is almost entirely water, which matters more than people realize. Dehydrated muscles don't work well. They cramp. They fatigue faster. A couple of cups of watermelon in the afternoon is a lovely, gentle way to stay hydrated while also doing something good for your muscles. I have a little ritual now in the summer. Every afternoon around 2 o'clock, I sit on my back porch with a bowl of cold watermelon. I call it my muscle break. It makes me smile every time. Try to get 2 cups a few times a week. Fresh is best. And if you can't find it fresh, no sugar added watermelon juice is a fine substitute. Now, speaking of red fruit, the next one on our list is also red, and it has one of the most powerful muscle protecting properties of any food on this entire list. Fruit number 2, tart cherries. Tart cherries are one of the most studied fruits for muscle recovery in older adults. I want to say that clearly because sometimes people think research is only done on young athletes. It isn't. There are real studies done on people our age. Here's what tart cherries do. They are absolutely packed with antioxidants, specifically ones called anthocyanins, which give them that deep red color. These antioxidants reduce inflammation in your muscles. And the inflammation, when it's chronic and low grade, the kind most of us over 60 are carrying around without even knowing it. Inflammation is one of the biggest drivers of muscle breakdown. When you reduce that inflammation, your muscles have a better environment to repair and grow. It's like clearing the weeds out of a garden before you plant seeds. Tart cherries also help with sleep. And this matters for muscles more than most people know. Your muscles actually do most of their repair work while you sleep, specifically during deep sleep. If you're not sleeping well, and many of us over 60 struggle with that, your muscles aren't recovering as well as they could. Tart cherry juice in particular has been shown to improve sleep quality in older adults. I have about half a cup before bed a few nights a week. I'm not going to promise it'll knock you out like a sleeping pill, but I sleep more soundly when I have it, and I wake up with less stiffness. Look for tart cherry juice with no added sugar. Not sweet cherry, tart. It's a little sour and I like it. You can also find them dried or frozen if fresh isn't available. Fruit number 3, bananas. Oh, bananas. My old faithful. I've had a banana almost every morning for 30 years, and I didn't even know how much good I was doing. Bananas are rich in potassium. Potassium is a mineral that your muscles absolutely need to function. Every time a muscle contracts, every time you squeeze your hand, take a step, or get up from your chair, potassium is involved in that process. When you don't have enough potassium, your muscles feel weak and they cramp. Many of us over 60 are actually low in potassium without realizing it. Bananas also contain magnesium, which works alongside potassium to support muscle function. And they have vitamin B6, which helps your body process protein. Remember, protein is what your muscles are built from. You need B6 to actually use the protein you eat. The natural sugars in a banana are a quick, clean source of energy. I eat mine about 30 minutes before my morning walk. It gives me just enough fuel to move without feeling sluggish. One medium banana is plenty. If you have diabetes or are watching your sugar, talk to your doctor about the right amount for you. But for most people, one banana a day is a wonderful, affordable, easy thing to do for your muscles. And now let's talk about something small but mighty. Fruit number 4, kiwi. I started eating kiwi about 5 years ago on a friend's recommendation, and I'm so glad I listened. It's become one of my favorites. Kiwi is one of the best sources of vitamin C you can find, and here's why that matters for muscles specifically. Vitamin C is essential for making collagen. Collagen is the protein that holds your muscles, tendons, and connective tissue together. As we age, we make less collagen naturally. That's part of why joints get achy and injuries take longer to heal. Getting enough vitamin C helps your body keep making collagen. But there's something else about kiwi that I find fascinating. Kiwi contains a natural enzyme called actinidin. This enzyme helps your body digest protein more efficiently. So, if you're eating good protein, eggs, fish, chicken, beans, eating kiwi alongside it or soon after actually helps you absorb more of that protein. Your muscles can use it better. 2 kiwis a day is a reasonable amount. You can eat the skin if you like. It's edible and full of fiber, but I peel mine. I slice them and put them in my yogurt in the morning or eat them plain in the afternoon. They're small, they're easy to eat, they're not expensive. This is very manageable addition to your week. All right, we're almost halfway through our list, and I want to pause for just a moment. I know this is a lot of information, and you may already be thinking, Okay, Grace, I can't eat all 10 of these every single day. And you're right, you don't have to. Even adding 2 or 3 of these fruits into your regular week can make a real difference over time. Small, steady changes. That's what actually works at our age. Fruit number 5, avocado. Yes, avocado is a fruit. I always get a little smile from people when I say that. It doesn't taste sweet, but botanically speaking, it's a fruit. And it's one of the most important ones on this list. Avocados are rich in healthy fats, specifically something called monounsaturated fats. These fats help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like vitamins D, E, and K. Vitamin D in particular is critical for muscle health. Studies show that older adults who are low in vitamin D have significantly more muscle weakness and a higher risk of falls. Getting enough healthy fat helps your body use the vitamin D you're getting from sunlight and food. Avocados also have more potassium than bananas. People are always surprised by that. One avocado has about 975 milligrams of potassium. A medium banana has about 422. So if potassium is what you're after, avocado is your friend. And avocados are high in magnesium and vitamin B6, both of which we talked about earlier in relation to muscle function and protein processing. I eat half an avocado most days, on toast, in a salad, or just with a little salt and a squeeze of lemon. It's creamy and satisfying, and it keeps me full for hours. If you're on blood thinners, please check with your doctor about avocado. It contains vitamin K, which can interact with certain medications. But for most people, half an avocado a day is a wonderful thing. Fruit number 6, pomegranate. Pomegranate is one I added to my life only in the last few years, and I wish I'd started sooner. Pomegranate contains a compound, and this is a bit of a mouthful, but stay with me, called urolithin A. When you eat pomegranate, your gut bacteria convert certain compounds in it into urolithin A. And urolithin A has been shown in research to help with something called mitochondrial health. Let me explain that simply. Mitochondria are the tiny power generators inside your cells. Every cell in your body has them, including your muscle cells. As we age, our mitochondria get older and less efficient, and that contributes to muscle fatigue and weakness. Urolithin A helps your body clean out the old, damaged mitochondria and make way for healthier ones. Think of it like taking out the trash so your muscles can run cleaner and stronger. Pomegranate is also extraordinarily high in antioxidants, actually higher than red wine or green tea, which are both famous for antioxidants. It reduces muscle inflammation and improves blood flow to muscles. You can eat the seeds fresh. They're tart and jewel-like and quite lovely. Or drink 100% pomegranate juice. Just check that there's no added sugar. A small glass 3 or 4 times a week is plenty. Fruit. Number 7, blueberries. I don't think I've gone a week in the last 10 years without blueberries. They are just absolutely wonderful for us. Blueberries are one of the most antioxidant-rich foods on the planet. Those antioxidants fight something called oxidative stress, which is basically cellular damage that accumulates over time and contributes to aging, inflammation, and yes, muscle breakdown. But here's what I find particularly interesting about blueberries and the muscles. There's research suggesting that the antioxidants in blueberries, again, those anthocyanins, the blue-purple pigments, actually help reduce muscle soreness and improve muscle recovery after physical activity. For those of us who are starting to move more or doing gentle exercises, this is meaningful. It means you might bounce back a little faster, feel a little less stiff the next day. Blueberries are also excellent for the brain. And I mention that because for those of us who are 60, 70, 80, and beyond, keeping our minds sharp is just as important as keeping our bodies strong. 1 cup of blueberries a day has been associated with improvements in memory and focus. So you're taking care of your muscles and your mind at the same time. Fresh, frozen, both are wonderful. I keep a bag of frozen blueberries in the freezer at all times. In the morning, I put a big handful in my oatmeal or yogurt, and they defrost right in the bowl. Perfect every time. Fruit number 8, Papaya. Papaya is a fruit I grew up with, and I'm so glad it's gotten more popular in recent years because it truly is remarkable. Papaya contains an enzyme called papain. Papain helps break down protein in your digestive system. Just like the actinitin in kiwi, papain helps your body extract more muscle-building amino acids from the protein you eat. For those of us who have slower digestion, which is common as we age, this matters. We might be eating enough protein but not absorbing all of it efficiently. Papain helps with that. Papaya is also very high in vitamin C. One small papaya can have more vitamin C than an orange. And it's high in folate, vitamin A, and potassium. Here's something I've personally noticed. When I eat papaya regularly, my digestion is smoother. I feel less bloated. And when your gut is working well, your whole body works better, including your muscles, because your body is absorbing nutrients more effectively. Fresh papaya is the most potent, but it's not always easy to find depending on where you live. If you can't find fresh, look for frozen papaya chunks. They work beautifully in a smoothie. Fruit number 9, oranges and citrus. I know, oranges feel so ordinary, so familiar. You've been eating oranges your whole life, but I want you to see them with new eyes because they are doing more for your muscles than you probably realize. The vitamin C in oranges is central here, and by citrus I mean oranges, grapefruits, tangerines, clementines, lemons, all of them. Vitamin C is not just for fighting colds. It's essential for muscle repair. Here's what happens. When you exercise, even gentle movement like walking, your muscles experience tiny amounts of stress and micro tears. That's actually how they get stronger. They repair themselves and come back a little tougher. But that repair process requires vitamin C. Without enough of it, your muscles can't repair efficiently. Vitamin C also helps your body absorb iron from plant foods. Iron is important for carrying oxygen to your muscles. Without enough iron, your muscles tire out faster. And citrus fruits are high in something called flavonoids, which reduce inflammation. We keep coming back to inflammation because it really is one of the central villains in muscle loss for people our age. One orange or a large glass of fresh squeezed juice a day is a beautiful, simple habit. I squeeze half a lemon into warm water every morning. Not quite the same as a whole orange, but it's a gentle start. Just a note, if you take certain medications, some cholesterol or blood pressure medications, grapefruit specifically can interfere with how those medications work. So stick to oranges if you're unsure and check with your doctor. And now, the 10th fruit, the one I promised you earlier, the one that most people over 70 overlook, and the one that, in my opinion, might be the most important one on this entire list. Fruit number 10, figs. Fresh or dried figs are ancient. People have been eating them for thousands of years. And I think we've largely forgotten about them in our modern supermarkets filled with exotic smoothie ingredients and trendy superfoods. But figs deserve a standing ovation. Here's what makes figs so special for people our age specifically. Figs are one of the best plant-based sources of calcium. Now, calcium, most people think about calcium for bones, which is absolutely right. But here's what many people don't know. Calcium is also essential for muscle contraction. Every time a muscle fiber contracts, every single movement you make, calcium is the trigger that makes that happen. Without adequate calcium, your muscles literally cannot contract properly. They become weak, unpredictable, prone to cramping. As we age, our bodies absorb calcium less efficiently, and many older adults are not getting nearly enough. Figs are a genuinely wonderful way to get more calcium naturally from food. Figs are also high in potassium, magnesium, and vitamin K2, which helps direct calcium to your bones and muscles rather than your arteries. They have a good amount of fiber, which feeds the good bacteria in your gut. And they contain natural plant compounds that have anti-inflammatory effects. But here's the piece I promised, the thing most people over 70 get wrong. Most of us know we need protein for muscles. We've heard that. So many older adults do increase their protein. But what they don't realize is that calcium and magnesium are equally essential for your muscles to actually use that protein. You can eat all the chicken and eggs in the world, but if your calcium and magnesium are low, your muscles can't contract properly, can't signal repair, and can't grow effectively. Figs address both, calcium and magnesium, in one delicious little fruit. 2 to 3 fresh figs, or 3 to 4 dried figs. They are a little more concentrated in sugar when dried, so moderate if you're watching blood sugar, a few times a week. They're lovely with a little goat cheese. They're wonderful chopped into oatmeal. I sometimes eat 2 dried figs in the late afternoon as a snack and feel completely satisfied. Now, before we do our recap, I want to add one important note. Everything I've shared with you today is nutritional information, not medical advice. I'm 91 and I've lived a long life, but I am not a doctor. If you have health conditions, diabetes, kidney disease, heart conditions, any medication you're taking regularly, please talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian before making major changes to your diet. They know your body. I only know what's worked for mine and what the research generally supports. Also, fruit is wonderful, but it works best as part of a bigger picture. Getting some gentle movement every day, even just a 10-minute walk, eating enough protein, staying hydrated, and getting good sleep. Those things together are what make the real difference. And if you're not sure where to start with movement, be gentle with yourself. Even 5 minutes of slow walking a day is a beginning, and beginnings matter. Let's do a quick recap. All right, my friend, let's bring it all home. 10 fruits for muscle strength after 60. Watermelon for citrulline and hydration, great for blood flow to muscles. Tart cherries for antioxidants that reduce inflammation and help you sleep better so your muscles can repair overnight. Bananas for potassium, magnesium, and B6. The trio your muscles need to actually contract and use protein. Kiwi for vitamin C to make collagen and the enzyme actinidin to help you absorb protein better. Avocado for healthy fats that help you absorb vitamin D, plus more potassium than a banana. Pomegranate for urolithin A to support your muscle cells' power generators and fight inflammation. Blueberries for antioxidants that reduce muscle soreness and help with recovery. And a lovely bonus for your brain. Papaya for the enzyme papain that helps you digest and absorb more muscle-building protein. Oranges and citrus for vitamin C to support muscle repair and help carry oxygen to your muscles. And figs, our number 10 and our most overlooked, for calcium and magnesium, which your muscles need to actually contract, and to use all the other good nutrition you're putting in. You do not have to eat all 10 every day. Start with 1 or 2 that appeal to you. Maybe a banana in the morning and a handful of blueberries in your yogurt. Maybe a glass of tart cherry juice before bed. Maybe you try figs for the first time this week. One small change consistently is worth more than 10 perfect days and then nothing.